All right, y'all. We are now recording, so let me get on my phone so I can go look at the comments and stuff.
I gotta put them on my phone as well.
It's bigger. Okay.
I was like, what is that?
It's lagged. And then I'm going to hit record.
Hey, everybody watching. So now we can start sharing it. Hey, Raheem. Hey, Benny. Hey, people. Make sure. Hey, Nasty.
Hey, Nasty, going on.
Okay, let me share this. Oh, well, Chazzi, you're going to have to share to all them leadership groups. You know, I had left all of them.
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
I'm weak.
Hey, Terrence. Oh, how's Arizona, Shell?
Okay, let me go and start sharing. Posted it.
So everybody that's tuned in, just to give y'all a little background, today is November 9th, which we celebrate as the annual birthday of the rebirth of the KiKi scene. So today makes year 3. And so we wanted to put on a program that basically digs into the history of the Atlanta KiKi scene to give y'all the origins, to give y'all who started it, where it came from, and where it is going. So make sure y'all share the live into your KiKi scene groups and all of that good stuff.
Okay, I just put it in the leadership group.
Okay, and I just shared it to Philly, and I shared it to New York.
I mean, I shared it into like other groups. I know y'all saw it, so.
Hey AJ, hey Chachi, hey Reggie.
All right, we got
Hey, y'all
watching it.
Hey everybody. Award winning Toni. Yes. Period. All right, everybody, we're gonna get started in just a second. Hi, Michael Aaron Bain. How y'all doing? Hey, Judy Bodega in the building. Hey, Sugar Bear, Old Navy. Hey, Faith.
Hey, Judy. Hey, Micah.
Okay, y'all ready? So we can get this. Oh, it's 34 people watching right now. Sugar Bear said FATL, F the commentator, he do the most.
Sugar Bear out of here.
Come on here with all
she is a jaded girl. She is so jaded. Okay.
Hey, Shaquan, legend. Hey, Arnez, overall father, founding father.
Hey, Professor Ogilvy.
Not Professor Ogilvy.
That's me. Hey, Professor.
I'm about to tell you.
Michael, sit tight. Trust me, you about to get a story. Believe me.
Oh. Now, a lot of y'all that probably don't know what the KiKi is, you'll learn today. And if you're a part of the KiKi scene, then you'll specifically learn Atlanta's history and where Atlanta started from. So, hey, legend Reggie, Tigger. Hey, Vaughn. Hey, Barty, Atlanta father. Hey, Kimbella, legendary Kimbella Juicy. Southern mother. Where Chazzi keep disappearing too?
I'm trying to
tell. Down.
Okay, I'm like trying to sync from both phones. I'm doing a lot.
Oh, because you know when your camera go off, you disappear on the main Facebook. It turns to just me and Indira.
Right.
Okay, well, let me sit tight.
All right.
Make sure y'all Darrell and Akasha sees this, please.
Oh yes, I had just talked to Akasha today. So I can't. Hey, dope bodega.
I'm trying to look for the first video I can find. One sec. Oh, here we go. This is November 9th.
Hold on to that. Hold on to that, okay?
I was like, what is that?
So, Toni, I don't know if you know or not, but
she went digging in the crates, bitch.
I've collected pretty much all the Facebook Lives from that time, from 2017 up until now.
Oh, from the red floor. I mean, the red. The
orange floor.
I didn't make 2 errors. The orange floor. Hey, Icon Akasha Hndrixx.
So I'm trying to see what ball was this. What ball was this?
Oh.
What ball was this? Is this the
Okay, y'all ready to start? So we can go ahead and get this show on the road.
Let's do it.
So first we can start by, so again, I'll just reiterate. So today in Atlanta KiKi, the Atlanta KiKi scene, we turned 3 years old officially as far as the rebirth is concerned. On November 9th, 2017, legendary Blue Dior threw the first pop-up ball called the Surprise KiKi Ball, and that was really, so we had, prior to that night, we had been starting up houses, you know, getting our chapters together, all of that good stuff, but it was Blue that had threw that first ball that just really, you know, kicked things into gear and commenced the scene, started having balls again, and then the scene started to grow. We've added structure, we've added guidelines, we've added a band list because the girls like to carry a lot. But we've done a lot of things to implement longevity and staying power within our scene. So tonight we just give y'all that history of where it came from, where it started from, who brought it here, and where we are today. So what we can do first is go around and we can just introduce ourselves. So I am Atlanta mother, Toni Louboutin.
Want me to go? I am a legendary.
That was so plain, Toni.
Right,
that's
like she's that, like that's all.
Mothers. That is
like, hey,
the 2-time of the year, mother of the year, Atlanta mother Louboutin, the only femme queen right now running the fucking Atlanta game right now behind the scenes, honey. That's the motherfucking up and coming legendary Toni motherfucking Rice, bitch. Activist, trans activist, black activist, the girl, the doll, Miss Louboutin herself, honey.
Well, thank you, mother.
I say, girl, I'm Toni Louboutin.
Y'all are so, no, because you know, I really do, I don't really give my outside to the KiKi because the girls don't know how to appreciate stuff that we do outside. They only think about what's done.
Actress, activist, bitch, girl.
But anywho, enough about me. We can go around the room.
Go ahead.
I'm going up about actress. See, Hndrixx.
Okay, well,
I ain't do nothing.
I am your soon-to-be 3-time of the year MC. I am the voice of the South. No matter if it's KiKi scene or mainstream here in Atlanta, you would definitely hear my voice. I'm legendary founding father, Chazzi Grizzly.
Come on, Grizz.
Hndrixx, 2-time of the year, father of the year.
Well,
okay.
I am your 19 drags performance of the year. The room shaker, the body shaker, the shit talker, mother Hndrixx Milano.
Yeah.
De Rouge.
But no, you know, thank y'all so much for tuning in to this because like I said, we just wanted to, this is our way of celebrating, right? We know Reggie, legendary Reggie Zara has the Monday Night Mayhem, which is still going on tonight. So if anybody's going to that, go out, have fun, stay safe. I know legendary Blue Dior is putting up for the pot for that, for the ball tonight. So if you're going out, support Reggie, have fun, all of the things. But yeah, let's get started. So, Chazzi.
What's going on?
You know, me and you, we were, how this kind of started, basically. If you want to tell them how this thought to have this, because you know, in January, I did a Learn Your History event with the Blueprint, the icon, Darrell Louboutin, and also the Blueprint, the icon, the Hall of Famer as well, Little Mama Juicy. However, Little Mama couldn't make it to the event, so we just did it, end up doing it with Darrell. And so we learned about the overall history of the KiKi scene and where the KiKi scene started from in general.
Right.
But now, you know, we are a part of the Atlanta Kiki scene specifically. And one day we were on a live full of those very same icons and blueprints and Hall of Famers, the, you know, the first generation, first class of people that, you know, created the Kiki scene. And you want to tell them what happened and why this is happening today?
So they were having a discussion, but they was just like a big gathering of icons. You know, they were all like, it was like an icon reunion. They were just sitting there talking about different issues when it came to the Kiki scene. And I know the discussion of Atlanta came up, and well, you know, it wasn't that they did not have a lot of nice things to say. There was just a lot of things that were just like harsh criticisms, or everybody had their own opinion about what Atlanta was and what Atlanta does. And at the time, me and Toni were literally the only two like the full-blown Atlanta representatives that were actually in the room at the time, and we were trying our best to defend what we could about our scene, because nobody knows our scene like how we know our scene. So, you know, everybody is on the outside looking in and didn't really understand what was going on. So I brought the issue to one of my friends, my dearest brother, Will, legendary Godfather Marciano. He had a conversation with me. He was like, well, you know, the best way for you to like really get this under control and handle it is to allow everybody, not just certain individuals, but allow everybody to exactly know what it is that y'all have going on in Atlanta. And what better way to do that is by stamping our history and writing it, putting it in black and white for everybody to see. So not necessarily black and white, but you understand, like, this right here will be documented. So that way everybody will see it from here to New Hampshire to Uruguay, bitch. So you'll see this video and know the history of the Atlanta Kiki scene.
Period. And for future generations to come as well. I think it's important, you know, for like people like the Darrells and Kamaris and Little Mamas and you know, all of those, Omari, all of those people to still be here and still be active and around to give that history. And so you know, we have to take up and, you know, for our scene, and we have to do what we got to do for our scene. And so this is really not the beginning, because we've always done it, but this is just something that we can stamp in history and provide a receipt of, you know, this is the history at the end of the day. So, and just to shout out a couple people, shout out to Legendary Shady, Milano, shout out to the Genie Legend, Pink Puss, Old Navy, Southern Princess. Yes, Pink is on the video, Genie Legend. But so and y'all, if also let me say this as well, if you want to come up toward the end and like share, you know, memories of your era of different things that you want to talk about, DM me and I can send you the Zoom link and I can bring you up here and you can be a part of the celebration. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started.
I'm actually watching the first ball.
Also, the House of Bodega presents the Kiki Rumble Practice Series December 9th. We went to the first one. It was fab. We had fun. It was fab. It was good spirits. It was fun. It was really what Kiki should be. And we had a good time. So, okay. So,
Hold on
y'all.
a second before you start. If y'all are watching, please, because we definitely deserve more viewers than this. This is something that needs to happen. So if y'all are watching, please make sure that y'all are sharing to y'all groups, share to like y'all main house pages in your Kiki house. Share everywhere, you know, pertaining to ballroom reasoning. So that way, you know, everybody will see it and understand it and it can't be missed. So yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So me and Chazzi, whenever after all of that had happened, we had a conversation over the phone. And one of the big things too that happened is when Chazzi was having conversations, there was an understanding that other people created our scene or built our scene or brought the thing here. And I know I personally couldn't like let that slide because I know the people that brought the scene here that, you know, mentally was like, we have to make it, we have to bring this back, we have to bring this here. And we have to give those people their credit and give those people their roses, because if we allow people to take or, you know, have their own idea of who started what, then the people will never know like the real history. So that was partially of why, okay, Akasha. that was partially why we also wanted to do this. So in efforts to provide the correct history, we did talk to mainstream-wise, the icon, the pioneer, the Hall of Famer, all the above, Andre Mizrahi. Hi, icon Buffy Bodega. So we did have a meeting, Chazzi and I, with Andre, icon Andre Mizrahi, and we just basically went over the history of where the scene started when he brought it here. So just to kind of give you some background on that. So Andre brought the scene here, and also let me also put a disclaimer. Andre has been in ballroom for over 3 decades. So he's attended a lot of balls. So he gave us as much information as he could. And I know there's some people that were part of that original thing that will definitely come up later and can, give y'all more history or era moments, etc. But he started the scene. Basically what happened was at that time he had kids that were in Mizrahi. They were a part of the KiKi scene. And he was inspired by the energy, the creativity, the drivenness of it all. And so he wanted to bring that to Atlanta. And so he did that. And what his record, as far as what he remembers, was the year 2008. And he started those balls at Club 91, which was previously known as the Palace. Or yeah, I think it was previously known as the Palace. And it was renamed to Club 91, and it was toward the end of that era, leading into Club 708, and that's where the balls had ended. There are a couple of clips on YouTube, like Akasha, as far as Rashad, Ken, now Simone. Yeah, so there's a couple of clips that y'all can even go back to your own history just to go look and see the girls battling. They were pink ladies, poochies, pains, and all of the things. Yeah, and the scene during that time lasted for about he said 2, at most 2.5 years. And really what the scene was about at that time was really for them just to come and have fun. And that scene, did kind of birth some people who we know now. Oh, okay, so Hndrixx is putting up a clip. I know that's Akasha in the teal shirt. Who was she battling on that clip, Hndrixx?
This is Akasha in Japan, now Simone.
Now, come on, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, hi, Jatari, the legendary Jatari on Navy. So, yes, back then, Andre was the founder and creator of the House of Bubblegum. I know there might be some bubblegums watching. Shout out to on Cherie. She had commented, she said she was a bubblegum back in the day. We had Icon Fred Chanel. He had created the House of Oh Shit. We had icon MC Deborah Selvin had created the House of Raisinets. Back then, you also had the Pink Ladies. You had Poochies, which I did mention earlier. Even though Pain wasn't a ballroom-specific house, it was a family. And like Akasha, for example, participated as a Pain. Andre said they would have because Andre would have these mini balls every Wednesday night, and he would
Wednesday night mini ball madness.
He would dedicate one of those Wednesday nights to the KiKi scene. And at that time they were voguing for teddy bears and candy. There was a couple of times where they had like $500 houses. Or not, I'm sorry, $500 grand prizes. And that was pretty much that particular era. I know, and Akasha just said facts, so that's reassuring because icon Akasha Hndrixx was definitely a part of that era. Reggie said we got teddy bears. Shout out to Reggie. Shaquan said legendary, absolutely. Yeah, and Deborah, you go ahead.
Just looking at these clips were posted around 10 years ago.
Those were posted 2010, right?
No, yeah, these were posted 10 years ago. So 2010.
Yeah, and I believe those clips were from 708 at the time.
Yeah, that's 708. That's 708.
The era. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So just so everybody is clear, icon Andre. Oh, Akasha said it was the house. It was only house with the most points that were the $500 house, and if I remember correctly, I believe it was the House of O'Shits. But just so everybody is clear, icon Andre Mizrahi mainstream brought the KiKi scene to Atlanta. And then when Andre brought the scene to Atlanta, you had people like 2000. Oh, that was from 2009. Those clips was from 2009. They must have just posted them.
They just posted them a year. It's almost like 10 years ago.
And then let's get Chingy. a shout out, Chingy O'Navy. Chingy also was a person back then, before the Kicky scene it was established, was throwing balls that was not specific to mainstream or Kicky. He was just throwing balls, and that's how a lot of girls like really got introduced to ballroom. Like Akasha's, one of her first balls was Chingy balls, and I know people are probably gagging because they didn't know Chingy had this history. Chingy back then was known as Stacy. But then when the scene was established here, Chingy had started having Kiki balls. The location was called Y3. Correct me if I'm wrong, Akasha. I think it was called Y3. But that's where they started having. Well, Chingy was throwing Kiki balls. Nico said, Icon Nico, maybe somebody, did y'all get to me yet? We did. No, we did. But yeah, so that's where back in that time frame, you had Andre that brought this thing and that was throwing balls for the Wednesday nights. You had Chingy also that was throwing balls at Y3. Oh, YP. I'm sorry, I'm saying Y3. YP. And yeah, so that was the first era of ballroom. Right. Here go Nico saying Deem Chingy.
Nico.
That's what I was saying. Like
Nico.
Youth Pride is what YP stood for, everybody. Youth Pride. So YP. So shout out again to Icon Andre Mizrahi, who will always ever be known as Andre Bubblegum Juicy. Because when he came to the Rebirth, Andre became a Juicy. But and shout out obviously to those early houses of O'Shits and Raisinets and Pink Ladies Poochies and all of that good stuff. But that was definitely the first scene. That was the first scene. That was the first Kicky scene that was brought to Atlanta during that era. So how we have categorized those times, we call that the original era because that's when Atlanta Kicky scene was brought here. So for all of the girls that always, are seeing demons going on in Atlanta and they're like, girl, y'all just had, right, Y3 was a Kicky house. So Y3 was a Kicky house. Let me be specific because I don't know why I keep getting no. It's the Y, y'all. I'm sorry. But YP was Youth Pride, where Kicky balls, where Chingy had threw those Kicky balls back in those days.
Buffy, just for confirmation, Y3 was merged with Poochie, or was Poochie merged to become Y3? I can't remember exactly how it worked, but I believe they have some type of association. If you can clear that up for me.
Nico, let me get out here stirring the pot up. Everybody give Chingy his roses because Chingy has been here doing the work. He has since then come back out and started participating, but Chingy has put in a lot of work for, it was Poochie and Unbothered.
Unbothered, okay. That became Y3, got you.
But yeah, shout out to Chingy. I'm all about giving the girl, as I don't care what nobody say, I give the girls their roses. Always. Okay, Buffy said Poochie was the merge. So Poochie had merged with
Unbothered.
Oh, the icon.
The icon Chi-Chi is here.
Chi-Chi. So that is the first scene when it comes to the Atlanta Kiki scene. Again, Andre gave us the dates of 08 to 2010. 08 to 2010. He said it lasted for roughly between 2 and 2.5 years. So again, shout out to Andre Bubblegum Juicy and shout out to Chingy O'Navy during those time frames for Andre bringing the scene here and Chingy having those balls. So that was what we call the original era of the Atlanta Kiki scene. So as I was saying, for the girls that always have something to say about deemings that are happening, a lot of these people that have been deemed came from that era. And when we did the rebirth, they came back out and they were being active. Whether you agree with it or not, it's up to you, child. And another disclaimer, we might not be from New York, and New York people may not be from here. New York may not have been able to participate in this scene into the rebirth and whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, just have respect for the people.
I also learned some valuable information that, what we can't set a standard, like New York can't set a standard based off of us, if just hypothetically speaking, if they can't set a standard based off of what California could be doing with a Kiki scene, knowing that they really don't have a big Kiki scene or whatever, but just hypothetically speaking, if they did, they can't set their standard for them. You know what I'm saying? We can't set our standard for Wyoming if they had a scene. You know what I'm saying? Like every scene is different and it's built differently and it's structured differently, but we all try to stay within the same meaning and the same realm of everything that happens. And we deem it applaudable and necessary for those who were a part of their first scene to come back out and to become somebody who's actually back in the scene, contributing to the scene, you know what I'm saying, letting their presence be known, you know what I'm saying, and when you walk into a room, you know who is who. So those people have been graced the way that they should have, because they didn't have to come back, you know what I mean? So that right there would be another reason as to why certain things have been happening here, that some things that have been happening here that people may not understand. I can't speak for everybody.
And also the icon, the blueprint, Little Mama Juicy is here, which we did mention earlier. Little Mama said, when I reopened Pink Lady in 2008, Naima was the first KiKi scene mother in ATL, because Naima Pink Lady is. So shout out to, first of all, the icon, Little Mama.
She's also in those clips as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, she is. She is in one of those clips. She is.
She's in a couple of those clips.
Yeah, work, Naima. Shout out to Naima. Okay, so that, you guys, again, is what we consider to be our original. We call that the originals for us. Again, 2008 to 2010. Again, Andre gave us the dates of 2008 to 2010. Again, he said that first scene roughly lasted for 2 to 2.5 years. So after that scene, we moved forward to what we call the Red Door era. And this is specifically where Chazzi and Hndrixx can speak to, because I had not moved to Atlanta by that time. I was Orlando Orange. I had just graduated from college and I had moved to Orlando. So I was not here. So I'm gonna let these beautiful people speak about their era.
Okay, so the Orange Door era would have to come about
the Red Door era, not the Orange Door.
Right, I said that earlier. The Orange Door.
It's the colors for me.
I was mixing.
Yeah, it's the colors for me. So,
the Crayola box.
The Crayola chart. If we look at the Crayola chart, the second on the chart is the Red Door. When the Red Door era came around, it was around the year was like 2013, 2014. This is like me straight, like I was coming out of high school. And I was being introduced to ballroom at the time. I believe at the time I was in the House of Mizrahi. Shout out to House of Mizrahi. I had just become a Mizrahi, and I started to become introduced to members in the house who were speaking to me about KiKi scene stuff, and I really didn't understand it until I actually got a chance to sit down and talk to a few individuals. So my very first KiKi house, which a lot of people do not know, I was actually part of the House of Pink Lady. Shout out to the House of Pink Lady. I was actually a part of the House of Pink Lady, along with people like Larry, Casper, Reggie was actually one of those other people. Then you had Craig, I can't remember what house Craig was in. Pussy at the time was a Juicy. And then you had Red, who just moved to Atlanta, who had his own House of Nigga, coming out of Virginia. So in that time period, we were under the supervision of icon Toni from the Carolinas, who at the time was also a Pink Lady, and she brought us to the House of Pink Lady. Say what?
Shaquan too.
Shaquan? Okay, Shaquan. Listen, it was a lot of us that were Pink Ladies. It was a lot of us.
I was definitely in that group.
You were in that group too. So you know what I'm saying? I can't remember everybody that was in it, but we were there. So a lot of the times, a lot of times when we spent a lot of time at either Craig's house or Reggie's house, doing like practices and having like little balls for like little prizes and stuff, because we weren't able to like afford big spaces. But at the time, a lot of people would still participate and we still had their same energy and camaraderie as we were being in a venue. So we used people's like open living room spaces and just open floor spaces. Like Craig was like infamous for having the wooden floors with the big mirrors along the wall. We always used Craig's space. We had Reggie's space when he used to live in where was he saying at the time? Reggie, you're in here.
Type it.
It was Reggie. It was Craig. Who else we said earlier?
It was not. What is it? Chamblee. When Reggie was living in Chamblee, I used to travel from where I live, and baby, I live in South Georgia. I used to travel to Reggie's house all the way to Chamblee, Tucker, to go out there and be a part of the function and all of that
cute
stuff. Yes, we had a lot of fun there. So around that time, there was, I know a lot of people remember the club Quad. Quad was just now starting to come around, and right next to Quad was a place called the Red Door, which actually had a red door. So I know there was a point in time where this is when I think Indigo was down here, Half Pint. It was it was
Indigo, Hershey, Half Pint, because we also did sessions at their house too.
Right. So we were all over Atlanta, fucking people living rooms up and tearing up carpet. We had a good time.
Quantifiers, okay.
Ooh. So they had an actual Kiki function, and I believe that function was thrown by Norman. If I'm correct, please let me know. Akasha, you can
Can
you
I
pay
just
attention to
pause
that.
one moment? So everybody in the comments, when they say Toni, this is the icon Toni from the Carolinas, not me. I just don't want
Yeah,
people
I'm not sure what house she's in now. I think
I
she's
think
a
she's a
007.
007.
Yeah.
Oh,
But she also used to be a Juicy. She was a pink lady. She was a number of houses. If anybody knows what she is, like just tell her to come to the live so she can like just like confirm some things. But so we did it that as pink ladies. And I believe that also was like the house with the most points for $500 that night as well. I cannot remember exactly who won. I think the pink ladies won actually because Indigo was the pink lady at the time, I believe. So I believe it was the pink ladies who won that. So moving on from that, like we still would carry on and do our own little ones and twos every now and again. And then I know that Toni was in the midst of us like trying to get us together for community service. We were actually going to throw a Grand Theft Auto ball. A lot of that stuff started happening, and then it all of a sudden just stopped. So I guess we just kind of like dropped it.
The on the run ball was the T, bitch. That
The on the run ball was going to be the on the run ball was going to be nasty. I wish we still had all those pictures. Larry, if you are in any of those groups, or if
you
like,
need to send us all those.
Please get those pictures. Those pictures were nasty.
Those pictures. Ooh.
So then, like from that point on, is when like everything kind of died down and everybody just like went back to doing mainstream things. And then after that, we would carry on to 2016 when I was introduced to the House of Marciano by Baby Will. And at the time, we were just literally just we were put in the house as just members, and while we were just trying to understand a lot of things and getting to know people in New York City, just talking to everybody, communicating with people from north to south, east and west. And then this is where we all come into play because now this is where the rebirth comes into play. I had a phone call from Ike, Icon Ike Old Navy from NYC, who recently had just moved here. By that time, I had already started commentating functions. I was doing balls and things like a lot of Hndrixx functions. I had the last ball at 7:08. I was the last person to commentate that venue. I met Ike actually at a Vogue night that Hndrixx was having at what's the club they closed down with the pageants at. No, what is the pageants? It's over by the strip club. I can't think of it.
Oh, girl, so many.
Did you do the drag shows there all the time? God, I can't think of the name of their club.
It's gonna come later. Anyways,
there was a club. They had closed it down. I know they knocked it down. It's like apartment buildings now over there, or whatever, or what have you. If y'all see it in the comments, just let me know. The Jungle. There we go. Thank you, Kimberly. The Jungle. I met when the Jungle was in its last days, and we came in and he found out who I was through doing that. And so then after that, Ike reached out to me, was like, well, hey, listen, we're thinking about starting the KiKi scene up back here in Atlanta, and we wouldn't have it any other way without you being the voice, of the rebirth. So, of course, me being me, I was like, okay, I'm down for it. Let's do it. In the midst of that, it was Dion also was another person who was also spearheading the idea along with Ike in that time period. So this is where we can start bouncing back and forth, but maybe it's a lot to say.
Yeah, well, I know for me, Dion brought me to Juicy at the time. Jeter, pink lady, hi Jeter. Jeter
was there too. Jeter was
there. Jeter, I just got done talking about you today. Speaking of Jeter. So yeah, Dion had brought me to Juicy. This was, I don't know when, like this was like at some point in the fall whenever things really had started to like pick up. And he had brought me to Juicy, and we were already having house meetings, our chapter meetings and all of that at the hangout at the time. And just getting our, everybody at that time was getting the chapters together. Everybody was, building their chapters, just getting ready to, gathering their girls, because we knew that this thing was about to start. we just didn't know exactly when we were going to like start the thing in terms of getting things, you know, live and in color.
Right.
I remember specifically when I was doing Twisted, the whole Juicy, like they all came to support me. We were, you know, at Sweet Lounge. I even look back at those pictures and I'm like, well, technically that was even before the first ball. So we were definitely getting ourselves prepared for the Kiki.
Shouts out to the legend, the double legend, the triple legend. Will Marciano is here, the godfather, the overall godfather of House of Marciano, is in the comments.
Hey, Will.
You wanted it, you got it. Let's do it.
Around that time, I had just came back from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Juicy at that time for that rebirth.
And I just want to say, Shaquan, when you say Dion, are you talking about Little Black Dion, Prodigy, Little Black Dion, Dior right now? I just want to make sure that's who you were talking about. And I'm sorry,
Excuse me, East Coast Father. I'm sorry, East Coast Father, legendary Will. My apologies.
When I had came, the prominent figures that I pretty much saw during that time was Dion, because the first ball that I went to actually was Blues. Like it was like I think everybody's first ball that actually was there for that one short. So it's like that's when I first pretty much not stumbled upon it because I was a Juicy in Chicago. So once I came down, I'm like, okay, well, what is this? He was like, it's a KiKi ball. He's like, what house are you in? I was like, I'm a Juicy. He was like, well, let's go. I was like, well, we're here. Like,
at that time, we all became familiar with the space that was provided for us by Nason, which was the hangout, which we called
the slipperiest floor in the fucking world.
At that time, I know they were just doing things like Dion was just presenting like Vogue nights. We would just come there and just have sessions. Like all we were doing was just coming there and voguing and having fun and having sessions. I'd be on the mic screaming and hollering every now and again. I'd be on the floor tiptoeing with the girls. You know, we was just out there doing our thing, just having fun. And what ended up happening was there was a lot of faces that were coming up there like this was actually when Medusa started coming around, and I remember her being there, and she was so nervous because she didn't really know everybody. And I was telling her like, "Girl, come on out here, let's have fun." You know, we're just here to do our thing. So you know, we were just having fun, you know what I'm saying? And we would like throw like small mock balls, like literally just impromptu things, nothing with prizes and nothing. We was just like setting up stuff and just reenacting a ball and just having fun. Like that's what we were
at that time. It was
doing.
for flyers. It was for like a water bottle. It was for whatever you like.
Right. And so, Blue, if I know he has that little makeshift flyer he did. Blue came up with the idea of doing the first pop-up Kiki ball, and he was like, "Oh, you know, Chazzi, you be the commentator." I was like, "That's fine, whatever, let's do it." And at the time, I think it was like a $2 pot for all categories, and I think like the grand prize was the $5 plus the pot. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he had it for every category. So then at that point in time is when this is when the House of Old Navy actually shook the room at the very first time, because I just remember Medusa just being out and around us and like, you know, not being too involved. She was voguing here and there and doing all of that, and then she comes out at the ball as an Old Navy, and then you know what I'm saying, that was an uproar. People was like gagging at that, and you know, we were very shocked, but we were surprised because a lot of people didn't really know who Medusa was at the time. And she kind of reintroduced herself to those who were unfamiliar, but some of us knew her, but not everybody. What else happened? That's when Ace came out of the Old Navy. The Juicy started. The first prince from the back room.
The first prince of the house down here.
Okay, the very first prince. Okay, that's Ace.
We had the Juicy closet, which was Dion's office.
You had the Juicy wardrobe room. Like they had all their effects in one room.
I was over it. It's that Juicy room, bitch.
I would also I would also say too. So as you mentioned, like Legendary Blue had the first pop-up ball, which was called the Surprise Kiki Ball, and again that was November 9th, 2017, which is why today rather is our 3-year anniversary of the rebirth. Again, it's called a rebirth for a reason, because as y'all have learned, this thing was here 2 times before, and it just wasn't consistent enough with staying power. And so we're here now, and yep, there goes the hangout. That's the one.
This is the ball. This is the ball. This is our ball. The November 9th, 2017.
So that was the ball.
This is the ball. Like, this is it.
And I was so after that, after that ball, went on to have one more ball. It was
baby.
red ball because it was in honor of World AIDS Day, and again at the orange floor, and that's where when everybody had to bring it with red, with a touch of red. It just red had to be involved because it was in honor of World AIDS Day. And then after that, we decided to do a first official executive board, and so
Was the drag scandal that ball?
no, the drag scandal was the
When we
battle.
moved venues. Yeah, when we moved the venue. Oh no,
No, it
yeah,
wasn't. No,
drag. Yeah, right.
that was an orange. It was.
Yeah,
I think it was that
Orange
ball.
floor. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, and we'll get to that when we get to the battle zone part. Okay. But yeah, we had moved on. We had did the red ball, and then we had did our first executive board, which Chazzi and I both were on that. And then we had legendary Chayshawn Marciano, and then now icon Gia Juicy. They put a ball together, and that was our first major ball in January 2018. After that, we then moved on to what we created as being the Battle Zone series. And when I mean to tell y'all, the first two were packed. It was amazing. It was free. There was no grand prizes. It was amazing. And just to move on to a quick memory that Hndrixx was just talking about. So one night, the drags decided they wanted to come out.
You ain't you're not gonna do this. 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 Because since we're gonna toot our own horns today.
The only person that brought it right was Sakai. She was the only person that brought it right.
Bullshit.
if I'm not mistaken, Hndrixx, I think. No, Hndrixx had this, what she has now, and she didn't have on a bra, right?
First of all, let's get this out the way. Let's get this out the way. We had that was the first night y'all had made real live categories. And the girls did not know, because that literally me and Chachi was in the back. Well, Chachi was more of a full-blown drag than I was. It don't fucking matter, bitch, okay? It was more like, girl, so are we gonna be bearded ladies or because this is we didn't know what the KiKi scene still really was at that time because everybody was this was the first ball that we really had categories, set categories. And so me, Chachi, and then Suki was in the juicy room. So me and Chachi outside getting our tens, girl. Now Chachi had more facial hair than me. Chachi had more facial hair than me. It's no shade. I had this. That you can't tell though. You couldn't tell. But you had this. And then Chachi had a cute little one too. Girl, Toni had something about hold on.
Wait. It gave. So y'all mean to tell me y'all are drags and y'all coming out here with beards?
And we said yes. And we said, baby, when I said that stopped the ball, that stopped the ball.
Hiya. Because as a woman of as in ballroom terms, a femme queen, I'm as a drag, you are a female impersonator, so to speak, right? So I need to see that, and I don't see female impersonators with beards and no bras, etc. That might be more so gender non-conforming lane, but as a female figure,
that night you did, baby. That night you did.
All I know is we never had an issue again. We never had an issue again. And actually, I remember if Dope is still on here. I remember when Dope walked face, but Dope didn't have on a bra. No, Dope walked face, but Dope. I think Dope walked drags runners that night too, and Dope didn't have on a bra. And I was like, Dope, come here. I was like, I chopped only because if you're walking drags, I need to see a bra. And I think Dope didn't have on a bra, but I think it was for realness. And I was like, and it took me back to that night. I was like, Lord, I remember y'all had walked that night and it gave But no, yeah, we'll get to the memories and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. Which queen in drag, Chachi. we'll get to the memories. But after that, I mean, we really created, the Battle Zone series. We went on to have awards ball. We've had two. Our third one is coming up. We've had major ball after major ball. We have since, and the reason why this particular scene or this era of the scene is so different and has that same power is because now you have people in place in leadership that are actually implementing structure, that's implementing guidelines, that's implementing rules, that's implementing of the year systems, that's implementing all of these things that are going to keep us molded and shaped and and not going away like we've done time and time again, as we have just learned the history. I want drag face and then walk drag running, and Toni chopped me for not having a bra. I didn't know. Right, Dope, you didn't know. And so and I don't chop the people. I really don't. So when me and Dope, when that happened, I pulled Dope immediately. I said, Dope, come here. Let me tell you why I chopped. And we had that conversation. But yeah, I mean, and so we're here now. You know, we've went from the Orange Floor to the studio. We've had a few balls at Canley. We had a few balls in Decatur. We've had now the Crib, which the Crib was a place that was used in the original scene as well. The Crib has been around for over a decade. So yeah, did anybody else want to say something about this particular era in terms of like where we've come and just the history of it?
I just want to do a disclaimer on this scene as a whole. A lot of people that knows the KiKi scene knows that it predominantly came in New York for the youth. Mm-hmm. And with our scene, even though we shout youth, I'm going to say this, it's a lot of people that's over 18, over 20. Yeah. So let's just be 100. This scene is not necessarily a youth-based scene. However, it is for newer growth people that just came into ballroom. So that's the youth to me. When it comes to, a lot of people think that, oh, it's supposed to be for the youth. We holler the youth. No, baby, a lot of us is over 20. Like, majority of us is like over 20, about to be 25, about to be 30. So it's not necessarily a scene of youth, but just for newer people. Like, this fresh breath of fresh air. It's like a lot of y'all new faves came out of Atlanta from this scene.
Bianca Balmain. A round of applause for Bianca Balmain. Hello.
Yes, Bianca deserves. But before we get to that,
we ain't in the genie area.
Let's touch on the studio era, because the studio era is also known, AKA, as the Buffy Bodega era, since she wants to call it that. So at this time, after moving from the Hangout, right across from the Hangout was a studio space that was a really large studio space where we started going there to have our functions. And the very first big ball we had there was the Father's Day ball, which was hosted by Dion and who else? It was Dion and was it Ike?
It was the fathers, Dion, Ike.
Dion and Ike. They hosted the first Father's Day ball. They had a full Father's Day panel, and at that time is when the House of Bodega actually debuted that night.
No. They House of Bodega debuted the ball before that.
Which ball was before that? I'm not sure.
I don't remember what the ball was, but I remember they debuted at the ball before that. And then at that particular ball, I think they had some new talent that came out at that ball.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they officially like walked. I think that. Yeah, ball.
I think that would have been probably the first ball that they stormed as a house.
Because if I'm not mistaken, they debuted Buffy. It was Buffy, Corey. Who was the original Prince and Princess? Arnaz and
Nucci.
I can't remember. It was somebody else.
Nucci
it was only
walking
4 people in Bodega. It was only 4 people in Bodega.
Yeah. The debut was really cute. I can't remember if it was the Father's Day ball. It was one of those functions where they came out. And then after that point in time,
Anthony's ball.
Yeah, it was Anthony's ball because that's the night that they debuted. And
that's the night I
we had to wear the boat. We had to
and they came in very uniform.
Yeah, it was Anthony's ball, because that's the night Chico broke the table, duck walking. Remember, Chico broke the table, duck walking.
Yes,
no. Chico broke the table at the Father's Day ball because he was the.
It was Father's Day. It was Father's Day because that's what started with Chico.
And right. Okay. Yeah. House of Bodega debuted at Anthony's ball before that.
It was It was either Anthony's birthday ball, I think. It was Anthony's birthday ball.
Right. Arnaz, Caleb, and then it was Buffy and Corey.
Yeah, because that's the night Anthony deemed Buffy as an icon.
Right.
Okay.
There's your history. Buffy got deemed here at Anthony's birthday.
Let me say this too. When Hndrixx was speaking on like what a lot of what we also have to understand too is that because this thing has came and gone and now we're back, right? The first generation of people in this rebirth scene was never going to be youth, right? Like teenage youth. Why? Because you have to have people that come in to create something, to build a foundation for these babies, for these newer generations to come in to learn and then carry forth. And I do believe after 3 years, we have come to a place where the new generation should be the leader and at the forefront at the end of the day. And when I say new generation, that can mean any age within that generation, because we all know people enter the scene at different ages. They're not all teenagers at the end of the day. However, the new generation of the Atlanta KiKi scene. That's why we have the term genie. Like New York use kittens, we use genies. I don't know if we'll ever use another term. I know Chazzi got a few brats, but so I just wanted to say that like me, when I first started, the Orange Floor was the first time I entered the KiKi scene. Like, I didn't even realize, I knew back then, because the icon Lunicon is my father. He hosted many interviews from the KiKi scene, whether it was Simba, where he was actually at the balls, whether it was Sheree Mattel. Like, I've seen all of these people, I've seen the interviews, etc. So I knew it existed. I just wasn't a part of it because I was in college. So this being my first era, I came in and wasn't able to, you know, we came in in leadership. We came in sitting on panels. We came in having to build a scene and create a foundation. So we didn't get to work. I have never been able to be a youth in no kind of scene. Like, well, in this particular thing, it gave leader from day one all the way up until now. Same thing for a few of us. I can't say a lot, but a few of us.
But a few, I had to work, bitch. I was a leader when I wasn't a leader, but I had to fucking work to get my position where I was now. And that's no Tito shade.
And that's outside of our okay.
So moving on from the studio, which we did have for a good amount of time. They had a couple of functions there, I believe. I can't remember whose ball it was.
My ball was the last ball. My ball was the last ball there.
Your ball was the last ball. Was your ball somebody's ball had a ball where we had to have color coordinated bandanas for our house colors?
That was Anthony Ball. That was Anthony
Ball. Okay, so
the ball I won. That's the grand prize.
The very last function that we had at that venue was Hndrixx's ball. We did not get a chance to finish that function. Time ran late. You know, things happened. And we were going to continue using that space, but for unseen circumstances, things happened. Unforeseen circumstances led us to not have that venue anymore. And we didn't find that out until the day of.
Until we got to my function. We didn't find that out until we got to my function.
Oh no, actually we didn't know we'd have the space until the day that me and Trey Sean did the Bad Boys ball.
Then I had to take it all the way to that other spot.
Yeah, we went all the way down.
That was in Decatur, right?
That was an indicator.
That was in Decatur. What was that called?
Ooh, we was just in that space last night, child.
That was over on Moreland, right? That was across from the drive-in.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I remember that venue. That venue was cute.
Not Decatur. So that's
like Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we ended up moving our function because we got to the function. You know, I had spent my time making these. First of all, I stole records from my job. Don't tell nobody. I stole records to make like platinum records, gold records, diamond records for the awards. For that function specifically. And when we got to the venue, they told us that we didn't have the venue anymore. So we had to run down Moreland to go find another venue at the time. And I think who was it that had that? Somebody found the venue. I can't remember exactly who found it.
Anthony found it, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was Anthony, but I wasn't for sure. We had that venue, used that venue for the ball. We had fun. And then after that, it was around the time when Buffy started coming in, and Buffy started throwing her functions and stuff. And I do believe that Buffy, where was your very first function? I'm trying to remember because I want to go straight to when we was doing balls in Southeast Tennessee at the venue out there.
You talking about Buffy's first function?
Yeah, did you say Southeast Tennessee?
Yeah, baby, that was a drive, bitch. Huh?
Buffy's functions usually be on like the Southwest side. Like I think she started like some of those small practices, like right when the Twister practices started happening. Like when we had the Twister set up.
Okay, so back it up.
That was the pull-up stash, right?
We were doing a pull-up stash. Yeah, pull-up sesh at the time. And my son Darby was one of the people who actually started the sesh. Buffy came in and started to assist him with the sesh, and we started having functions at that specific studio, where it was first starting out to do practices, and these were things that he was holding at the time being. You know, people were coming to support, and then Buffy came to help push it even more, and it became a thing. So we had our first one like right before the awards ball. You know, we was doing that before the awards ball and stuff happened, and then we had one after the awards ball, and then after the awards ball is when Buffy started to do her functions. That's when she was in Southeast Tennessee, right? In Tucker.
No. The was
are we at 2018? Are we at 2018?
Yeah, this is 28. This was the beginning.
Okay, so 2018. Hold on, because I actually have.
No. That was the beginning of 2019. Sorry, that was the beginning of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So Sugar Bear started recording balls at the Mother's Day ball.
Mother's Day ball, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that would have been in Tucker.
For recording the scene or recording the balls, and allow our scenes to have clips outside of the people that go live, of course. Because in the beginning, all we depended on was lives and people.
And I have
Now we have
everyone.
an official recorder of balls. And shout out to you, Hndrixx, for having those lives. Because
baby, those lives are hard to keep, honey. Just say. Just to have, it's really good memory, like not to go off, but it's really good to just to see where the scene has came, because I was telling Chazzi earlier today, it's just so crazy to be one of the youngest people in this scene from when it had those rebirths. I was in here since I was 17. I'm 24 now, so it's just to see Atlanta's scene kind of just progress differently. It just hits differently for me. So that's I appreciate the 3 years.
So at the time, Buffy started having her balls at the really big space, the really big studio space.
That was in Tucker.
Yeah, it was out in Tucker. And she had her mother's. We had the first Mother's Day ball there.
Yeah.
Which was very successful. This was Bianca started. This was the very first appearance of Bianca. At the Mother's Day ball.
Well, she wasn't Bianca at the time. She was, that
baby face.
That was Babyface, aka DK at the time.
Yeah, there was DK, aka Babyface.
Okay.
At the time, she was not in the house at that point in time, but it did end up going to Gabbana. It was a Gabbana for a cute minute.
Baby Gabbana, that's a whole moment by itself. Okay.
The house of Gabbana, baby.
Gabbana is a whole moment by itself. Shout out to Gabbana. I mean, we don't have Gabbana here anymore, but shout out to Gabbana.
Yeah. When it came to certain things, there was a lot of houses. They had their moments. Every house had their moment, and whether it had been good or bad, it was something to remember. And you're gonna remember them by what you want to remember them by. I know that at the time, the Gabbanas were a really hard hitting house, along with the Old Navies. When we first began, the Juicies were in it to fucking win it. In the beginning of the rebirth, the Juicies were in it to win it.
Oh baby, but you couldn't tell us nothing as Juicies, baby.
No, the Juicies was unstoppable. The Juicies really was
The Juicies were fab.
So
and shout out to actually the first 5, right, of the rebirth. So Juicy, Marcy, Pink Lady, Pink Lady, Old Navy, and his
nigga. Leviticus.
I really want to count them.
No, Leviticus, they wasn't really a part.
It was like a KiKi house.
Chi, no, this is my
more. What am I missing, Chazzi? Juicy, Marcy, Pink Lady, Old Navy.
But I'll take it. I'll send it back. But I appreciate it.
You said who?
Gabbana.
I gotta use
Gabbana.
These beans now.
Buffy said, what you mean, Buffy?
Well, here she go.
Chi, no. This is my food.
But I mean, so the purpose again of this, you guys, was to give y'all history of the Atlanta KiKi scene. Again, we went from 2008 to 2010. We went from 2013.
We skipped a couple of years. So that's around 2014 to 16.
So 2014 to 16, and then 2017 being the rebirth. Because Bodega Rebirth, people starting their own paths again, or am I dragging it? Actually, let me take this moment. So I remember when Buffy entered the scene, the Atlanta KiKi, and she came in, and I've always given Buffy her roses and thanked her, because she came in when a time where us as leaders kind of was giving, girl, a little, our cups were a little empty. It was a little empty. I'll just say it was a little empty. And Buffy came in with the energy she had, with the drive that she had, and she really kept the scene at that time going. Because I know for a moment I had checked out because, baby, I was dealing with some anxiety that I didn't even know I even had. I was in a bed for a month straight. December of 2018, I was in a bed for a month straight, okay? So I definitely have to give credit to Buffy, and I always have, no matter how much the girls have said and talked about her or said she's trying to be controlling and taking over the scene. Is no shade. At that time, if it had not been for a person like Buffy, the thing, I don't know.
We would have did exactly what we did beforehand.
It would have been quiet. It would have been completely.
It would have been exactly what we did beforehand. It would have stopped. It just would have stopped.
Buffy,
so it took Buffy to really come in and do what she was doing.
Enjoy ballroom again. Period. We love you too, Buffy.
So
I mean, she aight or whatever.
Yeah, I
She aight.
Oh, moving after us having our functions out there and doing our little ones and twos out in that area, we moved forward to where did we go after that, y'all? I honestly can't remember what happened right after that.
What is this? What are we talking about?
The crib. We went back to the crib.
Okay, we went to
we went back to the crib. That's when we started having the heat ball, the twin,
the good versus twin. We
Which
actually,
was Larry.
We had went back to the Mojo's Lounge or whatever that was, eatery. Then we started having episodes weekly at the Black Sheep. All the while, still the crib being like our predominant space where we held balls. You better slang that. You better slang what they be saying, mothers. Wait, what I say? What I say, Beanie? But yes. So again, for all of the girls that when we get into the deemings and all of that kind of stuff. I'm like, they ain't been here. They ain't even had a scene, a long time, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We get it. We understand y'all don't know the full history of Atlanta because y'all are not from Atlanta. Just like some people may not know the actual history of other things, whether it be Chicago, Dallas, wherever. And it's okay. But that's why we did this, so we can have an official record. I will say, when we get down to like the deeming situation here in Atlanta, I know that was a very hot topic at the time. And like I've always told the people, and it's all I'm going to say about it. If you came before me and they gave you your roses, whether the people see it or not, girl, hi legend. Thank you, legend. And that's just it for me. So I don't really have too much to say. Now, what I can say for the girls that's
what's the topic? I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm doing two things.
To say if it's giving Shakitas, but just the whole thing of deeming, because I know that was really a hot topic when it came to like Anthony deeming the girls at that time. Like the girls was like giving, how are they deeming when they haven't had a scene and da-da-da and da-da-da and da-da-da. So just had to, add some clarity as to why people were getting those roses, because we have had 2 scenes prior to the rebirth that everybody else knows now, because we've now made the people know it when it comes to the Atlanta KiKi scene. We've had our, 2 of the year. We had 2 awards balls. We going into our 3rd one now. And, the girls know Atlanta, and they know now we are a city with hot. We've had a lot of people here. We've had a lot of the greats here that have touched our floor, whether it be legends, some up and coming legends, whoever. So Atlanta is definitely a city that is a hot topic, and probably will always be a hot topic. But we are here. We ain't going nowhere. We've traveled to other cities. I know I've been to New York. I've been to Philly. We'll be going to North Carolina soon. Coming up.
Yes, I would definitely actually be for the dog's coming back out for you, hoes. Y'all, all y'all time is over. Playtime is over. Atlanta's coming.
Jaquan said, no one with a resume has to defend their deeming in my eyes. And and when it comes to deeming, and I'm still trying to get clarity.
Are we talking about that time? Are we just talking about that sit-in area, if we're going to talk about it, that a certain icon was deeming people? Or are we just talking about as a whole?
I was just talking about as a whole, but we do know, obviously, that all of, like, people start looking at us foolish when the people started getting deemed here, and it was kind of like giving, wait, they ain't even been here long enough. Why are they being deemed? Why are they being deemed? And so that's why this is to give clarity about the history of Atlanta KiKi scene. The rebirth that everybody knows about now, since we have made the people know it, since we have presence here now. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no question. Like, now, and I feel like with my generation of people, it's going to, when we are now getting deemed is going to be a resume that you can see versus, oh, we were here, we had to pause, then we came here, we had to pause, and now we're here. So now because we have longevity, or we're aiming towards longevity and staying power, they will be able to see a full-fledged resume and be like, oh, okay, I see it, and I see it. And if they don't have to see it, because this is our scene. And if we have our requirements, our of the year requirements, we have our deeming structure. There's order here, there's hierarchy here, and we'll follow it, moving forward. But it was rocky getting to that place.
Yeah,
it was so rocky getting to that place
because
we definitely dealt with a lot of hardships.
Everybody want to be legends, so I mean, I get it. Y'all know, I tell y'all, know how I be, baby. Y'all can keep it. I don't want it. I don't need it because I'm gonna do the work that I do.
You're gonna get it regardless.
So what was we at? So yeah, at the time of after that whole thing happening is when we started doing like the smaller functions, like at the the Sleepy Potato.
Are we past Lucky Charms?
No, we haven't got there yet. No, we haven't. Technically, we haven't got. Well, we've kind of moved.
No, we didn't get there yet. No, so we started doing our functions at the Sleepy Potato, and we're there from time to time doing our functions there. And then around that time of the Sleepy Potato is when when Bam had the Lucky Charms ball.
Yeah.
I know he had the Lucky Charms mini ball before that. And then he had the Lucky Charms ball. I think it was like a week or so later after that. We had that function, which I actually enjoyed that ball.
I love the Lucky Charms.
Despite of the commentators or whatever.
That's the one in Decatur. That's the one in Decatur, Tom.
Yeah, that was the one at the Decatur. We had fun. We had a really good time that night. I got out there and walked a little category or two. The grapes on the table were fab. The shish kebabs were fab.
The trophies were fab.
The trophies were fab.
Candies. I think they were called crack grapes or something.
Yeah, crack grapes.
Them grapes was everything. Bam, can you please tell me where you got them from, child? Because them grapes was everything, honestly. And again, you guys, I did mention at the beginning of the live, if you wanted to come on to like share some memories, just DM me and I'll send you the link to the Zoom and we can come up here. The purpose of this specifically was to give history. Whenever we deem that to be done, we can just come up and talk about memories. But yeah.
I mean, because we'll be in year 2 right now. Like year 2, I feel as though, because year 1 is when everybody got deemed. Year 2 is more like a.
Well, no, and 2 because
yeah.
Because year 2 was the year Chazzi got deemed, Shaquan, Larry.
Chazzi, Pushy, Shaquan, Larry, Chico.
Was that year 2?
That was year. It was around the Lucky Charms ball.
Yeah. Because Pussy got deemed at the awards ball.
And Jatari.
And Jatari got deemed, and Bam got deemed at the awards ball as well.
Mm-hmm.
The very first awards ball.
He sure goddamn did.
Yeah. So it was 3 of them at that award.
And right after that was, I believe it was both.
It was that group. After those 3, it was Shaquan, Larry, Chico, Blue, that right there. Yeah,
but in the scene before that was the I think at the time was like Akash. Well, no, Akash actually said no. Yeah,
Akasha got deemed twice in 1 year.
I'm trying to figure out which year she said, because I'm talking about the legend part. I think that was the first year or second year. I can't remember. But like the Man-Mans, the Cassios, the Akasha.
All around the same time. It just happened. It just
Man-Man and Cassio got deemed during Orange Floor.
Right. Yeah.
But it wasn't like, it was like months, like maybe like 2. It wasn't like super spanned out. It wasn't super spanned out.
And that's why it became so alarming here.
Yeah, and like all those deemings were literally in 5 months or less.
Right, and that's what got the people talking and like kind of gave us this brand of like, girl, what is going on? They just want to be legend, et cetera, et cetera. And like I was saying earlier, they didn't know the history of the scene, so now they're getting it, and that's part of what being a legend is. You're able to teach, and
and the person that was naming them could only vouch for them because I know people like Shaquan, they were Carolina members, and so they knew, like, Anthony knew, you know what I'm saying, what they were doing, because Anthony was the commentator out there in the Carolinas at the time, which I'm going to read him later about this whole commentating situation. But that's, but yeah, Anthony at the time was, hold on, what do you say? When Cassie Amendment got deemed, they were about this, yes. So yeah, that was around the time that Anthony was deeming certain individuals, because he knew of their work of what they were doing in the Carolinas at the time. So that's how that ended up happening with that. But then there was like a lot of stuff happening back to back that some people didn't understand, and that's what became like really like alarming to to people from outside of Atlanta.
Harry got Pink Lady got deemed icon that year too, and Puffy got deemed icon of the year.
Correct. So that's where a lot of that demon situation came into, because a lot of people did not know.
And I think this year's demon was less controversial because even amongst us in our own thing, and nobody really had much to say about it, because by that time it's like, okay, girl, well, we're creeping up on 3 years, and the people that got deemed, Tonka, Kimbella, Havoc, and Akasha as icon, they all came from the original thing, and Tonka himself came from the Carolinas. So these were people that had origins before this rebirth. So yeah.
Right.
But and I honestly think too that those might have been the last people to get deemed.
They were
from that era, right? And so now we creep up on, I feel like, my era of people when we get to, I mean, and granted, that era of the orange floor,
the red door. I mean, Reggie got his flowers though.
Right, Reggie just recently got deemed this year. So Reggie, along with the 4 other people at the awards ball, got deemed this year, and that was it. So baby, we went from 10 to now
5.
Well, and here goes Tonka with a plaque. Period. And yeah, and we made, and let me be very clear. Nobody is deeming anybody anymore without a plaque. That's never happening again. Wait, what was that, Chazzi?
What does that say? Commentator legendary. Yes, the Marciano.
I never knew you got that.
Yeah, they gave it to me at the Broadway ball when they redeemed me at the Broadway ball, because I got deemed in the Chicken Shack.
You got the plantation. The plantation.
I got deemed at the Chicken Shack in a do-rag, a gray t-shirt. And
baby, we had gagged that night. We was like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they properly redid it. It's on video and all of that. I got redeemed at the Broadway function.
Yeah. I didn't know they had gave you a plaque though. And this whole time I've been so like, I want to get Jatari, I want to get Piper, I want to get you a plaque because y'all deserve that. Like anytime you're not going to a award show without somebody honoring you with the Lifetime Achievement, Humanitarian Award, Bitch Album of the Year, Artist of the Year, without that receipt to say this happened for you on this night. So why in ballroom would you think that it's okay? Bitch, we know that their resumes alone spoke for itself, and we knew why they were best new artists. So it's the same thing here. We know that y'all resumes are going to speak for yourself. So whether you have it or not, the resume is going to speak for itself. But still in all, why wouldn't you give these people their just due? And so that's why when it came down specifically to the awards ball that just happened, all 4 of them people that got deemed, we had plaques. And we told Anthony, they're not getting deemed if you do not get these plaques. And Anthony did what was right. And the deeming happened because no, we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that anymore. That's not happening. And that's actually a part of the deeming process. And I made sure it was a part of it. You must have a plaque because I promise you, let somebody grab a mic and say Legendary Toni. And I'm like,
yeah, you got a plaque.
And it's no shade. Sometimes it ain't even about the plaque. It's who on the mic saying it.
Yeah. It's about the person.
I'm gonna shut down.
No, that's real. That's honest.
That's true.
That's honest.
That's why I said I'm gonna shut down.
You silly. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. If anybody wanted, I mean y'all can obviously deem if that's it. But if anybody wanted to come on and share a memory, please come on and share a memory if that's what you want to do. DM me so I can send you the link. Tonka said, okay, baby, I stood up for the new legends. No, ma'am, deem me at the awards ball with a plaque and speech. Right, yeah, because Tonka, Anthony did try and deem Tonka at the Jingle Jingle, and Tonka gave no, ma'am. You will do this the right way. And he got his just dues with his plaque and his speech. And whenever it's time to deem me, I need to be last. The speech is going to be long. Period. When it's done, when things
That's
are
correct, Sharpon. That's correct. What's this?
This is the drag scandal ball.
Oh, this is the
I'm
ball of the
gagging
dress.
that you have these clips.
You thought I was lying? This the whole ball too. This ain't half. This the whole ball.
Bitch, that's when they put the tape on the floor to make the runway. Bitch, I'm weak.
I got the whole
Baby,
ball.
let me tell you something. The orange floor. I remember that first battle zone, y'all. Chazzi, remember I was in a leadership group at Party City, getting the little trophies from Party City to give to the people.
Fem Queen performance was hot this night. No shade.
It was
Fem
fair.
Queen performance was hot this night.
It was just such a fair. And y'all, we came from everybody in the building chanting for everybody.
Everybody.
So where now
I'm
it's
trying to
just so much
find,
shade. You get chopped, it's shade. You want to charge at the people. You want to have 3 million questions. It's just like, that's not what we used to be. It's no shade. So what ball we did? Is this the drag?
This is drag support me.
Is that Sakai? Who is that? I can't see.
It is.
Because I remember Sakai and I was like, yeah, her ball. She had her
Child. I was not here for it.
You had her makeup on. Oh!
This was such a cute night. Yeah.
Wait, who is it? Was you
That's
in
me.
the orange? Girl, where that bra?
Girl, my titties, my bag. Don't worry about that. My bag, bitch. My bag, Toni.
I need to scan the bra.
Girl, wait for Toni to chop though. Wait for Toni to chop.
No.
It's a wait.
Wait, does it show? Let me see.
I'm out. Girl, y'all can kiss my ass.
Girl, I was just like, are they really out here with beards and no bra walking drags performance?
And is. Child, that's the drags.
And Naya said you were mean mugging her that night.
Who?
Zanaya. Zanaya said you were mean mugging her that night.
Was I? I'm sorry if I was.
So it's giving get off the live and go practice so I can get my status in a couple years. Well, so, we all know that legend can be achieved within 4+ years. However, you must hit those bullet points.
I'm about to hit you. Hold on, Chad.
You're correct, Blue. You're so correct.
Chaz,
a lot of people weren't getting chopped that year, but a lot of people were still causing controversy because they lost. Remember that. What is this?
You'll see in a second.
All right, Glenn. That catwalk is still. Abby is to the master of her element. Okay. Travis said, I ain't no 3 bullet points. I'm on my way.
I'm trying to think. Who else were you in this? Toni, were you in it? Oh, here's my LSS.
What ball was that?
This was the first ball.
Oh no, I wasn't there. I was at home watching on live. Cause that's the night Blue did it when Andre had a class.
Mm-hmm. It was right after that.
And I didn't come out because I was like, girl, I ain't trying to vote, child. And I didn't, obviously it was a surprise, so I didn't know what was going on. And I toyed with myself. I was like, child, should I get up and go? And I was like, nah, I don't feel like it, child. I don't feel like that drive. So I was.
Come on, Medusa. I'm sorry, I want you Medusa. Pre-Medusa.
Baby, I remember Medusa, baby.
This is before the transition.
This is before the transition.
Oh, so that's Nemo.
That's Nemo.
Right, Nemo. Right.
That's Nemo. At the time. Girl, this is a key just to look back at all this shit.
It is, it's just really good memories. I feel like the energy, when I was in Philly this weekend, the energy that Philly had, it reminded me of what we used to have, right? It was just a lot of energy when the people, were having discrepancies or whatever. They knew how to control it. Nobody was storming up the panels. You knew that the people, like the commentator, the icons and Tamir that were on the mic that night, when they told you to move or go about your way, you moved and you went about your way. But like we don't give that here. People still want to charge at panels. People still want to ask questions. Like, it's a chop. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's not the last function, y'all.
It is okay. And I was just telling Red this today. I was like, Akasha, I was like, we need to also understand, like, this has been the year of COVID, but we never have yet to slow down. When have we slowed down? It wasn't we had an awards ball, we had the Zara ball, we had the Gold ball, we had the first virtual ball here, then we had the Bodega ball, we had 2 more virtual balls. Reggie did the Keeping It Buckhead ball. We had 2 balls Labor Day. We had my birthday ball in October, and we're still having the Monday Night Mayhems, and then we got 2 balls in December. We have not slowed down. That logic of people getting status in Corona. People get status in Corona. Yeah, it's
a charmer. I'm about to. Ooh, let me mute myself. I'm sorry.
We ain't stopped.
Yeah. That is so true. And one thing I want everybody to know, honestly and truthfully, like this, honestly, Atlanta, for everybody from Atlanta that's watching, seriously take the time out to actually sit back and think about everything that we've done. Yes, that's the other venue with the floor and the speakers.
Oh yeah.
This is where that my chant originated from, and Jatari was the very first person to like come to that chant.
I am gagging at you, Indira.
Indira got the shit.
How about we talk about Indira's name changes throughout the years? Let's talk about that. So
Indira, name every name that you've had.
Indira, yeah.
That's not the first.
Watch this.
I'm just saying the ones I've known.
We have Angel. We have Vortex. We have Karma. We have Melina. We have Bounce. Then we got Audrielle. Now we got Indira.
Indira's here to stay.
Indira's here to stay now. Indira's here to stay. I like that. But shout out the name change.
Baby, 2021 awards ball. She's coming out as being Keisha, baby. I don't know. Milano, baby.
She coming out as Atlanta mother Chanelica Milano DeRouche.
Okay.
Chanelica. Child, that my name, and mind you, I tell people all the time my names just come from my metamorphosis. Like when I feel like I need to change or just be something different. But Indira's gonna stay because like that's permanent. That's a imprint. That's an imprint.
Did anybody want to share some memories? Again, y'all can inbox me and I can send y'all the.
I want to share a memory. The chopper signal.
To drop down. Wait, why? Because I'm gonna bring y'all one up at a time to cash out vote.
Indira.
Mute your phone, Indira.
Over there dropping people and stuff on pickup. But no, the chocolate stigma ball. when I got presented with the time, because I actually, a lot of people don't know how I actually got the opportunity to present that. I was when I did the Atlanta is Burning Ball with Red Bull and all of them, there were some DJs there that I didn't know at the time who were literally like DJing before the actual ball started and all that other stuff, and they stuck around for the like the remainder of the whole entire event. And they basically watched me, you know, on stage and stuff, and watched me do my thing. And I got introduced to actually, wow, no, I got introduced because at the time I had just left Ms. Rahi, and there was like a big scandal. Suki went back and told Andre that I personally would never call him out anymore on the microphone, and that became a really big issue between me and Andre. Andre made a whole Facebook Live video about me personally, just saying, you know, like he was like, bitch, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, what's going on, what your deal is, bitch, you know what I'm saying? It was a big deal. So what ended up happening was some type of way from word of mouth, a DJ who has like his own, he's like the CEO of his own business called Morph. It's like a real like big dance rave party for like LGBT people to come together and stuff. He heard of me and reached out to Andre, and I asked for me specifically, and that was the reason why I got hired on for the Atlanta is Burning Ball that Red Bull sponsored. After that, me and him kept in contact, and we spoke, you know, a lot, and, you know, we like sat down and like had dinner, and we talked about the KiKi scene, and, you know what I'm saying, what we provide for the KiKi scene, and, you know, what all we're doing and what we're trying to do. So in the midst of us talking about that, he's like, you know, well, I don't know what it is, but I want to, you know what I'm saying, sometime in the future, I want to help you, like, you know, do a ball. Like, basically what he was telling me, he was like, I want to, you know what I'm saying, I think it'll be a good idea to do like a KiKi ball. I think the energy is nice or whatever. So what I ended up doing is I actually invited him out to one of the balls we had at the crib. So they came and watched, and, you know, they like enjoyed themselves. So he hit me back up again. I was just like, listen, I want you, you know what I'm saying, I want you to, I want to partner with you, along with some other people that I have connections with, and we're going to come together, and I want you to help me understand the KiKi scene and throw a ball. So we sat down numerous times. I sat down and gave him the rundown of everything, of how things are supposed to go. And he was like, okay, fine. He helped me find the sponsorship. He had some people that he knew that did sponsorship. We booked, what is his name? I can't even think of the man's name right now. What's the DJ name?
Barrel?
Yes, we booked Barrel to come down for that function, specifically. And I told him that I would, you know, I will commentate the ball, and he was like, he would rather me have, you know, do it anyways, you know what I'm saying, because he doesn't trust anybody else to like be on the microphone. So I stood with him, you know, every step of the way, helping him get everything together. We did flyers together. We've been in his house numerous times doing meetings, and we finally got everything together. So that way, you know, when I put the tables on sale, the table sold out that same night. When I helped him do the layout of the function, you know, I made sure that we had the right sound system, because nobody can say whoever was at the top sitting the ball that the sound was whack. The sound was disgusting at their ball. The only thing that everybody was that it was hot as shit. It was hot as hell in that ball. I'll give you that. It was baking. But for me, the fact that he actually had people, you know, come out. And the theme of the function we actually sat down and came up with before Chop the Stigma, having to do with, like, you know, like helping to stop the stigma with HIV and AIDS and STDs, STIs. To me, it was very empowering. In one moment in the ball, there was a young man, like, he didn't even really know the category of what the fuck he was doing. I was doing runway, I believe. I think I was doing runway, or I was Virgin Vogue or something. I can't remember exactly what category I was doing, but, you know, he came out there, and I was like, okay, well, you know, tell me, you know, whatever, what's your resource? And he was just like, well, I don't really have a resource, but yeah, I'm here because I had a friend who lost a fight with HIV, and he wanted to dance in the remembrance of his friend, because he always told his friend that he wanted to come to a ball and he wanted to go get a ball. And he never got a chance to go with his friend to do it. due to the fact that his friend passing away. And so I completely shut down and shut up. And I just told the DJ to play the music, and I let that boy do what he wanted to do. Because I felt like that was completely necessary, and like that hit me like in a spot in my chest so hard. It was just like, listen, live your life. You know what I'm saying? Please take this moment. You know what I mean? And it really touched me to see that, you know, people that actually came out and, you know, are still trying to like help and represent, you know, for their friends that, you know, may have lost their battle and still celebrating their life and doing things that they said that they were going to do. And like, you know, just to see like people from all walks of life in the LGBT community, not just ballroom, coming to participate, coming to, you know, just to at least try. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was so empowering, not only just for me, but for our scene as a whole, to see that you have people who enjoy us doing what we do, that they want to be a part. And that was like the perfect moment. You know what I mean? So that really like that was perfect for me.